Plain and simple, Aroldis Chapman doesn't make sense, and I say that based off three things. His ability to dominate, mainly using one pitch, his durability and consistency since his debut while throwing so hard, and the ability to stay elite while aging. His pure baseball talent is extremely rare, and he's made a case as one of the most dominant pitchers baseball has ever seen, and we will discuss that and more in this video. Aroldis Chapman defected from Cuba in 2009 and had plenty of interest from major league teams for obvious reasons, as he was 21 years old, had a great pitcher's frame at 6'4", and already hit 102 miles per hour on the radar gun. 6 months after defecting from Cuba, Chapman signed with the Reds on a 6-year deal worth $30 million in January 2010, and at the time, he was used as a reliever, but the Reds saw him down the line as a future starting pitcher. The Reds used him as a starter in the minors, but Chapman has only pitched as a reliever since his debut on August 31st, 2010, and in his first appearance, he retired the side and immediately became must-watch TV. Instead of running down each season of Chapman's Hall of Fame career, I'm going to break it down in 4 parts: 2010 to 2012, 2013 to 2015, 2016 to 2018, and 2019 to 2021. And with that, mention some important stuff Chapman has done during that span. Starting off in 2011, his second season and first full season, Chapman had the worst year of his career due to command issues. He struck out 71 hitters in 50 innings, but had an insane 7.4 walks per 9 mark. Still, he managed to post a solid 3.60 ERA and struck out 44.2% of the hitters he faced. Following signs of promise in 2011, Chapman became the Reds closer in 2012, and he was so dominant that year, he made the All-Star team, finished 8th in the Cy Young Award race, and 12th in the MVP voting. Overall, he had a 1.51 ERA, collected 38 saves, had an insane 15.3 K per 9 mark, and significantly cut down on his walk total from the previous year. Altogether, from 2010 to 2012, he posted the following numbers, and this would just be the start of dominance for Aroldis Chapman for years to come. Chapman spent the next 3 seasons in Cincinnati and took it to another level, solidifying himself as arguably the best reliever in baseball at that time. He recorded 30 or more saves and posted an ERA under 2 in both 2014 and 2015, and altogether from 2013 to 2015 was even better than he was in the previous 3 seasons. After 6 seasons with the Reds, which included 4 All-Star appearances, the club traded him during the 2015 offseason to the New York Yankees in a 5-player deal. His debut with his new team in 2016 was delayed due to a domestic violence suspension, but when he returned, he continued to shine, converting 20 saves and posted 2.00 ERA in 31 games. However, for the second time in less than 6 months, he was traded, this time to the Chicago Cubs, who were baseball's best team. During his 2-month stint in Chicago, Chapman was unhittable. Appearing in 28 games, he earned 16 saves, posted an ERA just over 1, and played a huge part in the Cubs winning their first World Series in 108 years. Coming off a career year and being one of the game's hardest throwing and best relievers, Chapman signed a 5-year deal worth $85 million with the Yankees in free agency, the largest deal for a reliever to this day. The first year of his massive contract was a bit concerning, as Chapman's numbers took a drop-off and he saw major spikes in hits per 9 and a drop in his strikeouts per 9 innings. When Chapman first came up, he was predominantly a 2-pitch pitcher, featuring a fastball and slider. He had a changeup, but rarely threw it. As you can see, from 2010 to 2017, Chapman threw fastballs around 75% of the time, give or take a little more or less. Chapman made major changes to his repertoire and developed a sinker during the 2017 offseason. In 2018, he used his fastball 10% less than the following season, which was a career low, while his 25.4% slider usage was a career high. With those adjustments, he returned to his normal self in 2018, and his strikeouts per 9 went up 4 from the previous year, and his hits per 9 dropped by 2. Despite some hiccups, his 3-year stretch from 2016 to 2018 was still elite and in line with his career numbers. Chapman was dominant yet again in 2019, and 2020 was such a weird season that I'm not even going to bring it up, but this past year was something we haven't seen happen to Chapman ever. After a dominant start to 2021, posting one earned run in 20 innings during April and May, Chapman became batting practice in June. He allowed 12 earned runs in 8 innings, including a 4-run outing against the Twins and a 4-run outing against the Angels. Opponents slashed 338, 500, 658, and his command became a major issue. He did end up going on the IL for a short stint and made several changes to his mechanics, and eventually was back to the guy we all know and posted a 0.93 ERA in his final 10 appearances in 2021. The 3-year stretch from 2019 to 2021 was the worst one yet, but nonetheless it was still solid overall numbers, just not what we typically see from Aroldis Chapman. Now 12 seasons in the big leagues, Aroldis Chapman continues to do ridiculous things. In 2010 he set the record for the fastest pitch recorded at 105.1 miles per hour. Then this past season he threw a pitch 103.4 miles per hour, which was the hardest since 2019. His velocity continues to be at the top of the league, and his 100.7 average sinker mile per hour was the best in Major League Baseball this past season. Along with his constant velocity, Chapman has been very durable. Since his first full season, Chapman has appeared in 50 or more games outside of his rookie year and the shortened 2020 season. And to top it all off, I have to mention his ability to dominate mainly using one pitch. We have seen guys like Mariano Rivera or even Kenley Jansen dominate the league using primarily one pitch, but pitchers like that are extremely rare. Unlike both of those guys though, Chapman's best pitch is based off speed, and to combat with his slightly less velocity over the years, he has implemented a sinker but more off speed, including this split finger, which he developed in 2020 after fooling around playing catch, and when it's in the strike zone, it's unhittable. Going forward, the outlook on Chapman seems to be positive. After a small hiccup, he was pretty much lights out in 2021. His velocity is still there, despite the fact that he will turn 34 next season, and he's developed other pitches that will only help him continue to be elite even as he ages. To wrap it up, Aroldis Chapman is one of the most dominant pitchers we have seen in recent memory. He's a 7-time All-Star, and at this rate is a future Hall of Famer with plenty of gas left in the tank.